Everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we'll be reviewing the next world mission, that is 2-3, and now the stakes start getting a little bit higher. So this mission is going to be the one that you see the least amount of destroyers, but you do see quite a few of heavy cruisers and the first carrier. So we have one carrier, we have 5 heavy cruisers, we have 2 light cruisers, and we only have 1 destroyer that we'll be going up against. I'm going to kind of challenge myself and use Furitaka. She's not the most powerful cruiser in the game. That's obviously true. But at her tier of 6 is actually no, she's a tier 5. Yeah, she's a 5. Ayoba is a tier 6. But she's actually really good for her tier. And even though Ayoba might be a little bit better, I'm still going to stick with Furitaka because overall she's just more consistent in my hands. So we're going to be using Furitaka and trying to beat this next world mission on Guadalcanal, that is Savo Island. So let's see what we have. So it's a Ranger in New Orleans, looks like in Pensacola, well, quite a few heavy cruisers with only a couple destroyers, some light cruisers as well mixed in. Looks like 1 light cruiser. Again, it's a Hiryu, it's a Cow, 2 Ayobas, 2 Furitakas, a Yubari, a Tenryu, and a Kamikaze or a Mutsuki. So let's start out. There is that carrier that is quite dangerous. I do have a defensive AA consumable on Furitaka, which is quite surprising given her tier. However, it's pretty much useless as her AA is not strong in any regards. However, her armor piercing shells are pretty decent, and if you can get enough of them on target, you can definitely make an impact. And they're all Japanese heavy cruisers, so they're just floating citadels. But that also includes me, as I am a Japanese heavy cruiser. But you just have to work them down and see what you can do. Obviously in the destroyer you're going to have quite a difficult time if you're just using your guns. But if you use torpedoes, you can sink them, but Japanese cruisers do have the ability to turn on, well, a pretty respectable dime. But if you have armor piercing, you're definitely gonna get some good damage into them. So like battleships would have a field day in this mission, without a doubt. I do have torpedoes as well. Let's just actually send those out there. Might as well. Alright, so this is actually another Furitaka. I think that's actually gonna ricochet. Oh, we actually got 1 pen and an over pen. I'll take that. Alright, and I'm gonna have to start heading towards the north because everything else is running away. Alright, but we're gonna still work on these cruisers while we go in. I think we actually might get a torpedo hit here. Maybe it'll cross right in front of the bow, actually. Oh, it actually ran out of juice anyways. Alright. Let's finish up this Furitaka here. Now, Furitaka herself, as a Japanese cruiser, is only one of a few, I don't know exactly how many, but a few that has the ability to launch torpedoes in a forward direction. And we're going to try and avoid being friendly torped here, as we are forced to maneuver. These are pretty fast torps too. I wonder what those are from. But yeah, there's not many Japanese cruisers that can actually have forward-facing arcs. They're all usually amidships and astern. But these ones are not. And that is only found on Takao, Maya, and to an extent, Yubari. However, Yubari's torp angles are terrible regardless. But yeah, there's only a few heavy cruisers. I guess you could count Kitsukami and Tenryu. Well, Kuma and Sendai all have okayish forward facing, but for heavy cruisers, Furutaka is only one of a few that has forward facing arcs. Alright, so we're going to start working on this carrier a little bit. We're out of range for torpedoes, obviously, so we're just going to work her over with high explosive right now. Armor piercing might do something, but I'd rather set fires and let them do the damage for me, though if she keeps going broadside like that, I am going to switch over. And we do have 2 fires on her, so might as well switch at this point. See if we can get her through. Alright. No 3 fires, but we now have a broadside to start doing armor piercing damage. And actually, it ends up that the carrier is the last ship alive, because all the other cruisers that went up to the northeast have been sunk by my team. Or team bots, I should say. So we didn't really get a chance to tangle with the cruisers all that much, but it's pretty much just a case of, if you see a broadside, shoot armor piercing at it, and if you have a big enough caliber gun, you will citadel it. And there we go. Not as hard as I actually thought it would be, considering there's a carrier. But we never really saw the carrier in the game. Obviously, if you have a destroyer and you're going on the carrier one at a time, you're going to be taking torpedoes if it's focusing on you. Alright, so let's see how we did. Oh, we cracked 100,000 damage with 109,000. 3 ships were sunk, 74 shell hits, 8 citadels, 2 fires, 1 module destroyed, and 1 secondary hit. We did 11,000 damage in high explosive, probably all in that carrier, because I think that's the only time I actually used high explosive. Armor piercing did 86,000 damage, fires did 12,500, and then secondary battery did absolutely nothing. So yeah, this may not be the best cruiser to use, but it's definitely a strong cruiser. And with that, I will wrap up today's video. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and join me tomorrow while we finish up the Guadalcanal part of the campaign with Guadalcanal herself. So again, thank you and take care.